Right, well, hello everyone, and welcome to the first part of this X4 mid-game start video series. I really like X4. We've had playthroughs on the channel 2 times before, and both of them sort of, if memory serves anyway, both of them sort of ended roughly the part we're at now because I got bored and moved on to other games. But I've been really getting into X4 again at the moment, and I've managed to work my way through the early game, which is probably the part I like the least, and then I sort of like the mid to late game in this game. So with us starting that wee bit later, I'm going to give you a quick run through of what's happened so far to get you up to speed, to understand why I'm about to do what I'm going to do, what my motivations are, this kind of thing, that kind of thing. So, story time. As you see from the map here, I've explored a good chunk of the central of the map. I've not explored the DLC sort of areas or the extremities right now, because very early in my game, when I was trying to, because I don't really enjoy the early game that much, I prefer the mid game, I was rushing to the mid game. Generally when I'm playing X, one of the first things I do is I save up enough money to buy myself a mining ship or two, then I set them to work, earning me money so I can jump right into the mid game. But, yes, here we are here. I started near Argon as a human, and one of the, I think it was the smuggler started me somewhere like down here or somewhere around there. Anyway, but then I wasn't interested in being a smuggler. I just chose that because I wanted to start off with a trading ship and a wee bit more money. So I just sort of instantly went and started doing other stuff. I started being very pally with Argon as a fellow human. I thought it was very sort of thematic, this, that, and the next thing. But the keen eye amongst you are probably going to have noticed that Argon normally is very strong in these two this sector here. This is a different human faction. But they're normally really strong, like here and around here, with some presence down and around here, with their main capital building being somewhere, I think it's about here, which is gone. All the other stations in here, gone, destroyed. Xenon started steamrolling very early game. I'd just started to build my first station somewhere about here. I think I had like 2 trade ships, 2 mining ships going around making me money, doing trades, making ore and selling it to Argon. Argon were starting to really like me because I was supporting them, giving them trading for them, and giving them mining for them, selling to them basically to make my money. And I was just starting to build my first space station here. So yeah, very early mid-game sort of area, and I rushed to it, remember, so I was only about 5 to 10 hours deep. Then all of a sudden Xenon just started curb stomping everything. So I very quickly got on one of my ships and ran away as fast as I could, and only one of my ships, the one I was on, the little scout, managed to survive the escape because Xenon had already put defense platforms like here, there, and everywhere, and a lot of my ships were getting destroyed. But we managed to escape all the way over to these guys here, who are relatively safe and who are now an absolute powerhouse because of all the support I've been giving them. And I was like, right, we're going to have to start again. So I just had to start again with the only ship I had was the Discoverer Vanguard. We started buying mining ships, seeding them around, sending my scout to place satellites, building me my satellite network, and eventually started building our first station here, which you can see has a fleet of 5 medium trade ships, 10 mining ships, and 10 small trade ships. And it is making lots of food and lots of weapon components type stuff. The weapon components is almost always out of stock because that is the main thing that the Paranids need. They're short of weapon components, so we're basically selling them as fast as we can make them, and this little station here has been making me a lot of money. Then it's got some more money for me, I'll accept that. Then once I had this sort of mining fleet on the go and my trading fleet on the go and this station making me a lot of money, I saved up a ton of money to buy myself a huge invasion fleet, which we are now going to re-invade Xenon, the old Argon lands, and start kicking their butts. I did notice as well, as you may notice, we've got some stuff over here, is that Argon has started to try and rebuild here. They've rebuilt their wharf for building small ships in this area, and they've built a lot of stations here and are trying to build up their economy here, though there's only a tiny bit of mineable resources here, so they're really sort of struggling with that. I built 4 mining ships, snuck them over and in to start supporting them, so they have doubled in size since I started supporting them, which is great. And I have my main invasion fleet, which we built over here, sitting here ready to go in. Let's quickly show you what's in it. It's called Fleet 2 because I originally had one of these ships in its own fleet and then moved it over to this one. So yeah, we've got a carrier as its capital ship here, the main ship of it, and that's where we are right now. We are sitting on the bridge of it. You see the Paragon aliens crewing it because we retreated to them and we recruited and everything from them. And inside its Alpha group, which is its own ships, we have 4 Gorgons and 8 Thesis Vanguards, which are meant to land and dock on it directly. Then each of these Gorgons has got a Thesis Vanguard that's meant to dock on it. Then, if we close that Alpha group, we go into the Beta groups. We've got our 2 Odysseus Destroyers, and each of them have their own little fleet of a Nemesis Vanguard and 2 Thesis Vanguard fighters. So in all total, we have 1 carrier, 2 destroyers, 6 corvettes, and 16 fighters. And also the 3 bigger ships, the 2 destroyers and the carrier, between them they have an arm and a leg worth of drones, combat drones. So they're going to be able to spew out tons and tons of combat drones. The Gorgon Vanguards also have combat drones. If we go into the information for this one in particular, Escort, if we go to loadout, is it in here? Defense drones, it's got 6 defense drones in each of these 4 Gorgon Vanguards alone. So yeah, there's going to be lots and lots of drones, and that's just those little ones. If we go to the Zeus itself, the actual carrier, we go to its loadout, it's got another 12, then each of these have, I think, 6. So that's 4 times 4 plus 12 plus another 12 for those 2. So yeah, lots. I'm too lazy to do the maths, though it isn't actually that complicated. It'll be 16 plus 12 plus 12, so 30, 42 drones. So 42, so if we go back and go to the property owned, go to the fleet, and we've got 1 carrier, 2 destroyers, 6 corvettes, 16 fighters, and 42 attack drones, ready to start going in and sweeping. I think our first objective should be to sweep up, killing all the Xenon forces we find. Sweep through here, killing all the Xenon forces we find. Xenon must have not found this Argon shipyard because it's somehow survived this whole time. Then I think we go destroy this defense platform here, then destroy this defense platform here, and that'll really help Argon because this is cutting off this section here where they've got a lot of stuff here. This will all be able to start supplying them again. I think we start trying to take this over for myself. And I think as well that maybe at some point we look into taking over here for myself too, building ourselves up some space station, getting some of our own ship production on the go. But that's heading towards late game. We've got a while to go till we get to that. Before we do anything as well, let's just give you a quick show of the space station I built. So this is it here, and you can see it is rather large and self-sufficient. With its large fleet of mining ships and trade ships, it can easily build and produce tons and tons of stuff. It's got basically everything it needs to build the foods for the Paranids, the medical supplies for the medical supplies, so it's fully self-sufficient for its population, and it makes that much that it's selling food and medical supplies to most of the whole Paranid nation is basically getting supplied from here as well. Pretty much all their stations at some point or other are going to get some resources shipped from here. This is one of the biggest factories in the game at the moment, probably the biggest actually. Then it's got everything it needs to make all the different plasma conductors, to make weapon components and hull parts, and yeah. If we just come out of here and back to the map, we can actually see a list. Actually, if we just go to logistical overview, that would probably be the best. You can get a quick glimpse here now. So it's got like solar panels. It's got obviously these inputs from the miners, and it's got all these factories. Then it's got these tier 2 factories, and these tier 3 factories, and then these tier 4 factories, and then supplying the workforce there. As you can see, the workforce need their resources as well. So yes, and it is making good amount of money. It is making a good amount of money. And it's also got, because it's constantly making money as well, one of the things I noticed I've been doing is if we go to plan, if we go to information, you can see here it's not got much to give me at the moment, because just before I started I accepted it back down. When I'm a wee bit tight for money, because it's never losing money, it's always making money, I just quickly go and go zoop, and then accept. Not accept it, just confirm. I'm not going to confirm it now. Well, I suppose there's no reason not to confirm. Boom! 10 million. There we go, I can buy some stuff. Was that battle music? It is battle music! Oh, Xenon tried to invade here! Let's get a slight better view of this. External view.
ACS Vanguard.
One of my little Thesis Vanguards. Can't see a 360 view from that, and it's not viewing the enemy right now. I want a better view. Let's view from this Odysseus.
Odysseus E.
So we can see the lasers firing. Oh, look at that! Oh, lots of DACA just came out of there. Go, my fleet, go!
M.
A little M there. See his shields is going down pretty damn fast. Look at the firepower that's coming in. Oh, and look at all those missiles as well. They're all wasted. And that's what this fleet needs next. It needs a supply. But even without the only the capital ships use missiles. So yeah, let's tell this fleet now to start moving. Let's move. Let's go. This game is saving. Yeah, that's probably the worst thing about this game, the like giant pauses for saving.
Entering system. Second contact.
So have we moved over already? Yes, we have. Just waiting for the other capital ships to come on, moving on through. They actually attacked our carrier quite a bit there and managed to nearly get his shields down. But all of our ships, our drones, didn't even have time to get out there. All the little ships are coming through like this. Okay, I was wondering if the little ships would dock because it's just one little jump, or if they just come through the gate. Okay, once they're there, we'll tell them to fly on up to here. And we'll give them orders to engage. I mean, notice I'm leading from the front. I'm confident that we're going to be able to move on in. You can see there's one of our destroyers there. Where's our other one? Where is our other destroyer? Is it even here yet? You can see a lot of the ships are coming into land now. There's the other one there, so it's behind us. There's one to the fore, there should be one to the behind us. Can't quite see it. Oh wait, there, it's there. We can see its butt behind us. Wait, no, that's something landing. Let's go take a look anyway. On the dock area. Come on, go! We'll just travel to one of the Thesis Vanguard stocks now. Yeah, maybe we should watch the battle from here. So the Thesis Vanguards seem to be deploying. We'll go in and say hi to the pilot.
ACS Vanguard.
You ready for a battle? Captain Kilmanactic? I hope so. Whoa, I don't like seeing those asteroids fly past me. I love this game when you get to a capital ship like this and you're just walking through this like, this person works for me, this person works for me. Oh, guess what? This person works for me too, and so does this person, and so does this person, and so does that person. Here's the dock for the Corvette-sized ships here. Though they seem to be staying out in space at the moment. In space! We've got some more Thesis Vanguard docks over here. Oh wait, oh no, here comes one of them. That's one of the Gorgons, I think this ship's called. There is space inside this carrier, so each of these docks you see here is actually more like a landing platform. It can get sucked down and take these ships inside it, but I thought that I only wanted one for each slot, basically, of ship, because that's also how the drones take off, and we have 44 drones to get into the air, so 42 drones. So even though I could have more fighters and all that inside these ships, I wanted the drones to be able to actually take off today, not 5 hours after the battle starts. So yeah, let's go inspect this ship here. Go and see what it's like on his bridge. Maybe better to view the battle from one of these as well. And if I die, I get teleported out into space anyway through emergency.
Orgon, Vanguard.
So it's not too dangerous for me, and I can just get one of the others to pull me up. Yeah, so this is just the Corvette, it's really small. Though I'm surprised we can't. This isn't actually the Gorgon. That is the Gorgon, dock area. It's the Gorgon because it has a dock area. So each Gorgon has a single dock for a Thesis Vanguard. Is this one actually coming to land on this, or is it going to land on the capital? You can see another Gorgon landing across from us. Oh, it looks like the Gorgons are finally landing here. They're just taking their time. Actually, just double check the map, make sure we're not going to be getting engaged anytime soon. Because this is the direction that they came from. There's a gate, I think it's this gate there. No, I don't think it's there. I think it's through there, and then I think there's a gate that leads to Nexenon territory through here. And I think that's where they came from. So this blue faction's probably getting his butt kicked over here too. But we need to go help Argon first and foremost. Once we get Argon back on its feet and we've kicked Xenon out of here, maybe we'll start building some a defensive thing here. Once we've secured all this. Because I think this is the gate they're coming through, and we'll build up a defensive station here, maybe get some mini fleet to patrol and protect around it. Then once we've done that, we'll jump over to the other side and help this light blue faction, the other base game human faction. Right, let's head to the Zeus. I love walking through my docks and just seeing this ship's mine, just the exact same reason I like looking at this guy works for me, this guy works for me, this guy works for me. That's why I love the mid to late game in this game. Like in the early game I'm like, meh, I'm just a pilot all on my own. So I could fly any one of these ships. I could get in shooting in any one of these ships. I could go in a trade ship and do the trades myself. I could do the mining myself as long as it's not gas, I'm pretty sure. Back to the bridge. But why would you want to do that when you could have an army do it for you? It's a bit like Bannerlord, except without the fighting yourself, unless I jump in a fighter ship, and I could jump in a fighter ship and we could fly ourselves in the middle of the big battle, but I like to watch as well. So as you can see here, I can see my fleet moving. They're all docked nicely. Oh, I think one of them has docked on a... No? What's... I think this... who knows. If we go to information, it should tell us the number of docked ships, and one of them... In one of these, it tells you docked. Docked ships 14, so we can see there's all those ships docked. Rather annoyingly, I think the Thesis Vanguards that are underneath the Gorgons, instead of docking on the Gorgon, they're trying to dock on the Zeus as well. Which I can understand why, because they're thinking that they're not treating the Gorgons as part of the Zeus. And they're thinking the Zeus will be better for the transportation. So that's rather annoying. And it looks like these guys' underlings, only some of them are docking as well. Like, see, he's got 2 of his underlings are patrolling with him. And one of them's docked on him. Where's our other one? He's back here. All of his underlings are flying with him. Oh, where's my scout, actually? I brought my scout over. He's going to return. We're going to get our scout to do some scouting. Make sure we're nice and safe. So yeah, once we've retaken here for Argon fully and perfectly, that'll be great. Once I've pushed up here, we've seen if there's any big threats. I know they've got a destroyer somewhere around here. It was up here destroying stuff so far. So that'll probably be a big battle when we fight that destroyer. Destroying this defensive platform. I'm not sure how strong this is going to be, but I think we've got enough firepower to easily destroy these 2 defensive platforms. See, how many missiles have we got left? Deployables 50. Satellites. Oh, this is the Discovery Vanguard. I'm on the wrong thing. I was like, huh? Property of the Zeus. Information. Load out. So it's still got its 12 defense drones. 4 cargo, 4 repair. Capacity, it's still got all 480 missiles and 40 flares. It didn't fire any of that last little tiny battle.
Awaiting orders.
Who's awaiting orders? Oh, you're here already. I forgot how fast you are. Why are you not moving from there? All orders. I want you to go and start exploring through there. Just have a shifty around, see what you can find. Because they've definitely, look, they've got Zen raiding parties. They've got 3 Corvette-sized ships there. And I can feel our engines spilling up. I think we're going to be making a big jump through to the dangerous sector where I was originally building things up until Zen and raiding parties absolutely destroyed it. No, we were just speeding up again. We must have been waiting on everyone else to catch up before jumping on through. Yeah, this game is very much a slow burn. Just to give you an idea, the other ship I've got, the Nemesis Vanguards, are these, and I had them built to, this is what I call the DACA preset I did in that old game. I designed this back in our old playthroughs, one of the ones where we started from nothing. And you can see I've just given it a variety of guns, like Gatling guns, beams, and then that's a big giant railgun type thing, I think. And it's got a couple of turrets, so it's... The Gorgons, the one I actually went on, are the ones that are underneath the Zeus. Are the ones that are mini carriers, basically. Then these things are just, these are the things that are under the Odysseus. I've got 2 of them, they're just pure DACA. Pure DACA. Then if we go to size small, we go to Thesis Vanguards. These are the fighters. I just basically went to high preset and I don't think I changed anything. So that's their loadouts there. So this is the fighters I'm taking. And they're quite expensive because these are really expensive guns on these. So yeah, that's the preset for them. If we come now to this extra large Zeus E carrier, this is the carrier which I am currently on. We just did high preset on this, and I think I came in and I gave it more. I gave it 4 cargo drones to go with it, and then upped the defense drones by 4 as well. That's all I changed on this. So that's this ship here. Come down to high preset. High preset. Oh, it's already on high preset, so you can see it's got the shield generators, thrusters, more shield generators, and lots of turrets. The big turrets are beams, the little turrets are all the tracking missile launchers. Then large, we took the Odysseus E's. Once again, I think I just did high presets, but up the drones. So you can see here they got some very big guns. Very big capital guns. Which, to get any of this stuff, you need to be basically a hero of the faction. So if we come in, player information, factions, Argon, there's the faction we're going to save right now. There's the Paragon Godrealm of the Paranid. That's them. They were at plus 29. You need to get to plus 20 to get access to all this really high military grade gear. And then there's like Xenon, the sort of robots, the sort of robots killing machines. Right, I think we are. Where are we? Did we jump over yet? Nope. We're probably just waiting on everyone to be ready to jump. Where's our Discoverer Vanguard? It's doing fine for now. It's exploring. I know they've got some ships patrolling here, but I don't see any at the moment. I love how they've been ignoring my satellites, because originally I was putting the satellites down here, there and everywhere because there used to be a station here. And I was building up my satellites because when you're doing the trading, it'll be much better to show you if I come down here and show you is like here. And you see I've done the same here. You'll notice whenever I've got satellites, inside the satellite's radius, you'll see factories and refineries and all sorts. Oh, there's been a new one built here. We're going to need to put a satellite there at some point. But basically, the satellites mean I can maintain contact with this factory and I can see everything it's buying and selling all the time. Whereas if I didn't have that satellite there, after an hour of having contact with it, so if I've got a ship there, I'll have access to the information. But if I leave it, it'll take an hour and it'll degrade, information will degrade, I'll stop having access to this up-to-date information. I'll just have this. This is what it was when you were last here. Plus, the AI when you're making trades is much more efficient when you have up-to-date information, and they will normally only go to it if they have up-to-date information kind of thing. So as you can see here, my little station wouldn't be making anywhere near as much money. Oh!
Entering system. Argon Prime.
We just did our jump. We're in Prime. We're back in my original capital area. I see no enemies as of yet. I know they sometimes do have an odd couple of stuff here. So you see all these areas that were satellites that used to be surrounded by stations, kind of like we've got here as well. Then these bigger circles you see are the resource probes I've put down that will give me the information. So you can see this area, the ore and silicon, I've basically mined it all out. It will respawn over time. I've only got one mining ship on both of them, so I've kind of just left them as is, left it mainly depleted, and I'll just mine it as it comes back. Because it's not better for those mining ships to be doing right now. Then I've got one on methane, one on hydrogen as well, just to give them a good basic income of all resources for this faction. We're on our way. Right. This is probably just going to be a full intro part. I don't think we're going to get time to do the big battle this part. We're going to take the fleet though, and we're going to give it more orders now just to go and attack. Coordinate attack. The fleet's going to go attack that. Then once that's gone, and that's gone, their sort of stranglehold will hopefully be gone. Then I can sort of use my scout to sort of find their little raiding parties that are somewhere around here. And then find their destroyer, which at last I seen it was up here destroying stations. And we'll destroy them. As you can see, little ships like my little scout, which are really fast, they can get around to places really fast. And it's like, you see it's going zooming all over the place. But when you get big to time to fleets, and capital ships are rather slow, take their time, cumbersome, and also fleets need time to gather up again before they shoot through. So it's a really gets to a real slow burn when you're just doing stuff like that. So we may see what else we can do as we're waiting. We could, you know what? Let's plan build. Let's up our. I think we can up our weapon components by a couple on this factory because we're always sold out of them. So weapon components are doing rather well. We could be making more at all times. Also, the storage could be a bit higher. So let's come in and let's build ourselves a cross section there and a cross section there. And now let's build a container there. Let's see. Put that there and then let's try and. Nope, I don't want to flip it that way. Let's try like this. No, that's not how I want to flip it. Maybe it's because it's attached. I don't want it to be attached. There we go, that's how I wanted to flip it. There. And now let's get another container there. That'll give me more storage. Now, as for production, weapon components, we could just stick that right there. There's room. Could just stick that right there. There's room there too, and we've got a slight bit of space we can expand into there. And I kind of want there to be a connector there. There's 3 docks on this already. I'll see if I can find them. There's the little initial 1 medium, 6 small ships dock. Then I've built 2. There's one of them. Larger, luxurious docks with the 3 mediums and 6. And then there's the other one there, 3 mediums and 6. There's the other 2 weapons factories. Alright, so we will confirm that I want those built. Now we're going to need to supply it with money. It's estimated that it's going to need 3 million, so we're going to give it 6.8. Confirm, we can just take the money back it doesn't use afterwards, plus that'll help it get money faster. Now let's see. There's one. Oh, you. I want to hire you for a job. Come work for me for a bit. Build my station bigger. Brilliant. Now it's got the money it needs to buy the resources. I could give it a trade ship to buy for it, but I generally find when I just throw money at the situation, people come and sell me the stuff I need pretty fast. And look at this. Someone has already given me the hull parts. Actually, it looks like it's coming from me. I'm selling myself the hull parts. And there's another person coming in to give me energy cells, even though I could have just took them from my own storage. But, oh well, who cares? I've already put the money down that's needed for it. I could have given myself the resources to do it, but the money's not much of a problem here right now. So that's good. That'll make that station a bit bigger, make it a bit more money. Right, looks like the fleet is about to go into enemy territory. Oh, a little ship managed to sneak past us on the hyperlane. It would have been really hard to catch it in the hyperlane. They've got a construction ship there. That's very nice. Right, I do believe that is a part though. Next part I want to talk about how I've got some more stuff I want to talk about for this playthrough. I'm not going to do it exactly the same as my other playthroughs, but we'll talk about that next time because we've already used up all our time. Hope you have all enjoyed this. I shall see you all next time. Bye. The war begins now.